So the Oakland Ballers needed a rival. We needed another team in the Pioneer League to expand. Obviously, you can't just do one, you got to have two. And I'm looking at the announcement, the Yolo High Wheelers, and I see Paul Freedman, Brian Carmel, same guys. So what happened that led to not one but two Pioneer League teams?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. You need even number of teams to play in a league. If we wanted to bring, Oakland in under the time frame that we thought it was important to have a team continue to play in Oakland, we needed to figure out a 12th team. So, we've been busy working, figuring out where we can have another team. It, made sense to have be local, maybe create a natural rival. And so we started looking at, communities in the area, and, Davis and Yolo County popped up as really a wonderful place to have a baseball team. It's a baseball history here. Phil Swimley, who used to coach for years, he's a legend in the Sacramento area, a coach for Davis for years, has built a legacy and a program. And, we're excited to be able to continue that tradition and add to it.
Yeah, now the importance here, I think we should just, because this is more of an Oakland-based channel, is explain to people, you guys desperately wanted to do something for Oakland. You wanted to do something for the Oakland baseball scene that's really hurting right now. And really the best and quickest way to do something was to not only build the Oakland Ballers, but to agree to build a second team, because otherwise you would have to wait around for someone else to come around and expand for you to launch. So I mean, how did that conversation go with the Pioneer League, and how ecstatic were they when he said, "Yeah, okay, all right, we'll go with the second team too, just to get this Oakland thing off the ground"?
I don't know if they're ecstatic or not. It was sort of a needed to happen to make the thing happen. We said we wanted to do Oakland. Obviously, they were excited about that, and we talked about why we chose the Pioneer League. But they sort of said if you want to play in our league, there's got to be an even number of teams, so we can sit around waiting for our next expansion, or you can drive it and make it happen. And, it was really important to us that there's no lag in the baseball history of Oakland, right? Like it's the most beautiful baseball history in America. It's a great town. We wanted to be able to continue it without there being an awkward gap of a year or 2 years, or who knows what it would have been. So it was important to us to hit the ground running. And so we've been working twice as hard, frankly, to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible undertaking. I know I talked to you in the very early stages when you were, coming up with the ideas for the Oakland Ballers. And I know you're not like some major sports executive billionaire that's out here trying to gobble up teams. I mean, this really tells you guys are really in on this. You've gone as far as creating not one, but two franchises just to make sure you can get the one in the first place in Oakland. And what happens with the Yolo High Wheelers? I think this is going to be a cool rivalry, but it's going to be kind of funny where you're essentially smacking yourself sometimes so how do you make it so that, someone in that area can take over, really run that team, make it their own team, and get to the point where it stands as its own entity, where it's not something that, you guys have to kind of control both squads?
Right. Great question. Our core belief is that, teams are part of their communities, that they should be. That's when they're working well, they should be, that they're just a really vibrant part of the community. And, we're from Oakland and will always be from Oakland, and have a lot of love for Davis, and have learned to have a lot of respect for Yolo County, and are excited, to help out. But, we think of ourselves as just sort of stewards of this team. And we think all teams ultimately need to have, people who are local throughout the whole life cycle, the ownership, players, managers, like everything. And so we're going to be working to bring in, local folks to that whole life cycle, so that we can sort of have seeded this great team. But we don't think that in the long run, we're the people who should be running it, because we know and love Oakland, and there are people who know and love Davis, know and love Yolo County, and love the community as much, and they deserve to have an opportunity to run and support their team.
Before we turn, I mean, there's so many Oakland Ballers things we could talk about. You guys are moving at warp speed, but before we turn it fully to Oakland Ballers, Yolo High Wheelers, that merch is going to fly. I can't even think of a cooler name you could come up with, both in the city and the county, Yolo, and then the actual High Wheelers itself. I mean, that all around just sounds like the coolest thing ever.
It's a cool name. It's a cool name. It's fun. And for folks who don't know, High Wheelers are like that old fashioned, like 2-wheel bike. It's actually the town crest of Davis. So for Oaklanders, it's like this, our version of the oak tree. It's like on their town crest. So, folks from Davis really respect the fact that we're tying into their tradition. It's also like Davis is the most bike friendly city in the world, apparently, or at least in the United States. It's got 100 miles of bike lane. So it ties to the community, and I think it's cool looking. It's cool. It's cool looking, and we're excited to have folks, bike to games. One of the cool things about this rivalry is there's just a little train You can pick it up in Jack London. You can pick it up in Emeryville. And Oakland fans that want to come out, can come out, bring their bikes, and root for the Ballers playing the High Wheelers.
I think you're going to have a lot of people take you up on that. And I hope that at some point you can get the train service to, an old piece of track, something you can commission into a trophy would be really cool. That they have the Causeway Classic out there. There's some other things like that. It would be neat to have, a trophy for the series between the Ballers and the High Wheelers.
The Capital Corridor Cup, something like that. That sounds like a great idea. We'll try to see if we can make it happen.
That's got a nice ring to it. All right. So I know we'll see you at FanFest. I know we'll see JT Snow, the rest of the coaching staff at FanFest. I mean, let's go back to JT real quick because I spent some time talking to him. I worked with him at NBCS back in the day when he was doing Giants pre and post. I did some of his first shows. But, I mean, what a great guy. What a nice guy. What an accomplished guy. I mean, did you think you were being trolled? Did you think something weird was going on when you got an email out of nowhere from JT Snow, of all people?
Yeah, I mean, my qualifications for running this team as being a fan. And, as a A's fan, first and foremost, you still, I grew up in the Bay Area. It's like hard not to love JT Snow, right? Like the guy's an icon. He's a legend. So, yeah, of course, when I got an email in our players at oaklandballers.com email account that says, hey, it's JT Snow, you guys open for me, come for a job. We of course thought it was a joke, but if Walk 35-year MLB career, he can get a hold of anybody, and he got a hold of JT on the golf course, and it turned out it was really him. And he said, hey, would you mind if I came out and be part of your coaching staff? And it's like, who would possibly say no to that? I mean, we're so excited. I think our players are super excited. He's one of the best defensive first basemen in the history of MLB. It's, who could be better to learn from for our guys than him? And you said it, he's the world's most humble human being. Like, as accomplished as he is, to be as down to earth as he is, and to be as humble as he is, it's just really incredible. And he's just excited to, help out the guys and be around baseball.
Yeah, he seems very committed. I mean, just to get back on the field, it's going to be exciting for him. I know a lot of people remember him too for saving Darren Baker at home plate in the World Series. I mean, the guy does everything, so you're in great shape there. Now, I know that, we've talked about this, but not really on video. But I mean, the whole thing with the A's, and you guys really had a dream to play that game at the Oakland Coliseum. You'd basically gotten to the point where you had it all locked up. I was out of town when the news broke about this thing getting rejected. So how devastating was that? And what can you do to make that dream a reality? I know that obviously after 2024, the A's lease expires. There's absolutely no indication. My sources tell me they're not even talking about extending that lease. So what do you have planned there? And just how much did that sting?
It still stings, dude. It's super disappointing. It just would have been such a big event, right? Like, the whole idea was a celebration of the continuance of baseball. The whole idea is a celebration that Oaklanders, and people who claim Oakland get to decide whether baseball continues in our town, and to do it at a place that has, we all love and has gotten kind of a bad rap, the Coliseum, but it's still a wonderful place. Like, that all still, is really important. The idea that we would have been able to, come see a Ballers game and see that kind of different vibe that we're going to put together, and a lot of people were going to be able to see it. That's still disappointed. Frankly, I haven't given up. I know the JP, some folks on the JPA at the next JPA meeting are going to ask some questions about how it all went down. I'm hearing, some things behind the scenes that, maybe there's some ways of working around the A's, lease. I haven't given up. We definitely want to still play in the Coliseum on June 29th. That's the dream. It might not happen. I can't control that lease. It's not up to me. But I haven't given up hope that it will still happen. And if it doesn't happen June 29th, we will have a time where we get to celebrate the fact that baseball continues in Oakland in the Coliseum. I want it to be sooner rather than later. I never have patience, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I know that, if people watch this channel have heard me say this, but I mean, this wasn't some like PR trap. I mean, this was genuinely a passion project of yours and Brian's. It's something that I know you care deeply about, and the aspect of healing Oakland and providing a lift for Oakland baseball, and doing everything you can to keep that legacy alive is your sole mission. I mean, we've talked about it many times. So anyone out there thinking it was a PR trap, I'm telling you right now, Paul doesn't even have to say it. I'm telling you, it was not that, but it sure did turn into that for the A's. I guess I just don't understand what they're thinking these days, Paul. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, to be full disclosure, everybody who knows me will tell you I'm not that smart. There's no way I'm smart. smart enough
I
to
can
come up with
confirm. No, I'm just kidding.
the PR trap. We saw a lot of that, on social media, that this was some sort of PR trap, and it's like, no, really a genuine attempt to play in the Coliseum. And really, I don't know why anybody who doesn't love baseball would be against that. Like, really, truly, if you love baseball, then why wouldn't you want to have a celebration of baseball in the Coliseum? One thing doesn't interfere with another. Like, maybe A's will change their mind. Maybe the JPA can do something. I haven't given up hope. We'd still like to see it happen.
Yeah, I just at this point, why do the A's even care? I mean, they've made it clear they have no interest in this community. They've made it clear they have no interest in staying past 24. I just don't know why they even care at this point. But I could see easily you guys outdrawing them. I'm not going to have you say that. I will make that commentary myself. I could easily see that happening, and I don't think they wanted that. So anyways, what's next then? I mean, what do you guys have cooking? I know there's so much going on. Season's approaching, coaching staff set up. You got players coming in.
Yep.
You even made a trade recently.
Yep.
I know there'll be tryouts. I mean, what's next? What's the next phase in the Ballers situation?
Yeah, so we're Fans Fest is coming up. It's on the 24th. I think we're going to be part of it. We're bringing the whole crew. We want to be out there and meet the fans. If you're watching this and you can make it to Fans Fest, go. It's going to be crazy. I know you're going to be there.
I'll be MC. I'll be on stage. I'll be leading the ceremonies,
it's gonna be great.
We'll be talking.
It's a testament to the fan base. Like, what kind of fan base, if their team doesn't make a Fans Fest for them, they make their own Fans Fest, and this is the second time. It's the second time our fan base has
the
done
other
it.
one too.
So this is, it's going to be great. So that's only a month away. That's probably the next big event that you're going to hear from us. But we got a lot of work to do, as you mentioned. June 4th is when we're having our first games. We have a lot of work to do to meet the expectations that I think their fans have for us, and they should, because if we want to be part of the tradition of baseball in Oakland, if we want to be part of that rich legacy, we have our own work to do to make sure that the team is up to the quality their fans expect, and we want to win this league. You heard JT Snow say that, and that the experience is up to the quality of what the fans expect. And so we've been working really hard. We will continue to work, and we're here to try to not let the fans down. We really want to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting. Northern California being infused with two new baseball teams. I know I've expressed to you, MLB was always my favorite sport. I've fallen completely out of love with it. I'm hoping that something can step up, something can come in here and make me regain my love of baseball again. And I hope that the Oakland Ballers, Yolo High Wheelers can help people with that same issue, kind of recapture the love of baseball, show what baseball is really about, not corporate greed, but actually the game itself. And let's see how that goes. I'm hoping the Ballers can step up and fill that need for everybody out here.